Good afternoon, my dear students. So for this module, we're going to talk about the language of mathematics. So you might be asking, oh, meron bang lingwahe pala ang mathematics? Like English. Later on, we will talk about that. But let's start with some activities. So I'd like you to read this tongue twister. I'll give you a moment. Okay. So I assume after some difficulties, you were able to read it. How about this? Can you read this one? Okay, so maybe you figured out that this is the song of Carly Rae Jepsen. Call Me Maybe. But can you read this one? Can you read the hieroglyphics written on the wall? So probably not, because in the first place, we don't know kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga simbolo, diba? So actually, it's the same with mathematics. If you don't know the symbols, and there are a lot in math, diba? If you don't know the symbols, what's the meaning of them? If you don't know the rules, you wouldn't be able to solve mathematical problems. People frequently have trouble understanding mathematical ideas, not necessarily because the ideas are difficult, but because they are being presented in a foreign language, the language of mathematics, according to Carol Fisher Burns. So, in this module, we will realize na, kaya pala hindi ko masagutan yung math problem na to because I don't know the rules. I don't know kung ano ibig sabihin ng mga symbol na nakikita ko on the board or on the screen. So let's emphasize that actually math is a language. Math has a language of its own. And therefore, if we wish to succeed in this subject, we have to understand this concept. Like any language, mathematics has its own symbols, syntax, and rules. So let's compare it with English, with the English language. So first, we have a term called noun, diba, in English. So in English, noun is a name given to a person, a place, a thing, or an event, and so on. So for example, Carol is a name we give to a person. Philippines is the name of a place or a country. Book is a name of an object, a thing. What's the equivalent in math? We have what it's called the mathematical expressions. So 5 is a mathematical expression. This is a particular symbol or name we give to a quantity na pag binilang mo, it is 5. 2 plus 3, that's also an expression. 1/2, a fraction, that's also an expression. Okay? Mathematical operations, for example, plus, that wouldn't be an expression, that's a symbol. Okay? A complete thought, what do we call that in English? That's a sentence, diba? For example, the capital of Philippines is Metro Manila, period. So this is a complete thought. This is a sentence. In mathematics, we also have mathematical sentences. Kailangan mo lang dito may equal. Tapos, sa kanan at sa kaliwang bahagi or kanan at kaliwang side ng equal ay mayroong expressions. For example, on the left side of the first one, 3 plus 4 and then equal 7. Okay? So right here, the equal completes the thought. Pero, of course, dapat may laman yung kanan at kaliwa nun. 3 plus 4 equals 8. That's still a sentence. Although you can say that it's a false sentence. Synonyms. We have that term in math, diba? Synonyms. So words that have the same meaning, or in English rather. For example, the word similarity. Pag nakita ka ng resemblance, that also means the same, diba? Or likeness. We can also have that in math. For example, 5, this expression is also the same as 2 plus 3, diba? We know this, simple arithmetic. 10 divided by 2, that's also 5. 6 minus 2, that's 4, plus 1, that's 5. And many, many more quote-unquote mathematical synonyms. In English, there's a term called verb. These are words that make a statement about the subject. For example, in this one, is the verb, diba? It's making a statement about Metro Manila, that Metro Manila is the capital of the country, Philippines. What's the equivalent? What's the equivalent in math? It's actually the equal sign. So you can actually read it like this, diba? 3 and 4, or 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So it's making a statement that 7 is also equal to, or has the same magnitude as 3 and 4 when you add them. I talked about this a while ago. Hindi ibig sabihin na complete yung iyong sentence, or you have a complete thought. You can already say that it's true. It can actually be false, diba? In English, we know that this is a wrong statement, an incorrect statement, a false one. The capital of Metro Manila is Philippines. So this one is also false. 3 plus 4 is equal to 8 according to this mathematical sentence. But we know for a fact that it's 7 actually. Again, I told you a while ago, language has a convention, diba? So in English, we write the first word, tapos yung first letter niya, we write it in a capital. Kapag meron tayong complete sentence, we also have to end it with a period. Proper nouns such as Philippines and Metro Manila, dapat yung first letter ng kanilang salita ay malaking titik. 3 plus 4 equals 7. So here we know that actually we're looking at a convention here. This is a convention. This sign, we know that that's plus. We have to add this digit and then this digit. Okay? Equal. That means the left side is equal to the, or the same in magnitude to the right side. We know na kapag nakita tayo ng gantong symbol, oh, that's 3. This symbol, oh, that's 7. These are mathematical conventions that we know from our elementary days. In English, we have a term called pronoun, a word used in place of a noun. For example, Alice went to Alice's room to dash because Alice was going to a reception given by Alice's glove in Alice's honor. So instead of saying Alice again and again, referring to Alice again and again, we can say she or her, diba? Her room, because she. So these terms are pronouns. But in math, we have terms called variables. So for example, in this sentence, is there a number with the following property? Doubling the number and adding 3 to the number gives the same result as squaring the number. So it tends to be repetitive, diba? Instead of saying number again and again, we can actually translate this or convert this into an equation, diba? So doubling the number, x can be a variable. This number can be any number, and x, we will use x to signify that. Doubling, making it 2 times. So 2x and adding. Add. Magpa-plus ka daw. 3 to that number, to this one number, x, which is x, gives the same result. So that means equal as squaring the number. The number is x, diba? We will use x to stand in squaring the number. So this is how I will use